The Source.
You're listening to WOCA, Ocala.
All right, 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Wednesday morning here at The Source, WOCA, broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall, just outside the WOCA commissary. It is 61 degrees. 61 degrees, Robin. Any idea what the forecast is calling for Friday? Let's see. 77 degrees is the expected high on Friday. Okay. Wow, it's going to be cool.
Nice.
No way, 39.
39?
39 degrees it says for Friday night.
Wow. That's going to be fun with all the trick-or-treaters out there.
39 degrees Friday night. It's going to be cold Friday night. 39 degrees Saturday night, and then 43 Sunday night.
Oh,
and then low temperatures in the 50s all next week, according to this.
Apple cider and hot chocolate weekend.
So today and tomorrow, high temperatures in the 80s. Today, 84. Tomorrow, 81. High temperature on Friday, 77. High temperatures throughout the rest of all the way through next Wednesday in the 70s, lower 70s mostly.
Oh, nice.
But those nighttime temperatures, 39 degrees Friday and Saturday. Wow.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
Like
okay.
that.
All right. Let's see. Do I have any ribbon cuttings I need to mention?
Yes.
Let's see.
Yeah, you've got 2 today and 1 tomorrow.
2 today. All right. The Chamber, Ocala Marion County Chamber and Economic Partnership has ribbon cuttings they would like you to attend if you feel interested in doing this. The one today, there are 2 today. One's at 4:30. Actually, one's at 1:30 this afternoon.
Yep.
That 1:30 one is the ribbon cutting and launch party for Hathaway. Oh, what was the full name of that company again?
Isn't it on there?
It just says Hathaway. The Hathaway Home Services Office. Berkshire Hathaway. It's Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Office located at 2161 East Fort King Street here in Ocala. Today's their big kickoff. We had the other day Bob Kennedy in the studio talking to us about that. So 1:30 today this afternoon, you can go celebrate with them and meet the staff of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services.
Yeah, and it's 2 times. The ribbon cutting's at one time and the launch party's at another time.
Oh, okay. What time's the launch party?
At Bellanote, it's 5:30.
Ah, okay. Okay, I guess I'm not looking at it right, I guess.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
5:30. Where? Launch party?
Launch party event location.
Oh, Mesa de Note. All right. All right. Oh, I see it's 1:30. I said the launch party event is 5:30? Okay.
Yeah, 5:30 to 8.
And then there's a ribbon cutting at 4:30. And this is for Family Wealth Guardians. They are located at 3300 Southwest 34th Avenue, off of State Road 200 a little bit. And I go over there and celebrate and congratulate them. So there's just 4:30, and Berkshire Hathaway is 1:30 for the ribbon cutting, and 5:30 if you want to get some food at Mesa de Note.
Right.
On East Silver Springs Boulevard.
Right.
All right.
They're going to have refreshments and things, so Mesa de Note has kindly donated their restaurant for the launch party. So
nice restaurant, too.
Very nice.
All right, so let's talk about this report. There was a report, and it was published or written, or both, by Senator Tom Coburn from the state of Oklahoma. He's a Republican. He has released his 2014 Waste Book, chronicling the worst examples of wasted taxpayer money in Washington, and so I want to share some of that with you. Now, before I tell you these things, which I believe you'll be entertained by, but I also think you might be angered at. Maybe. Maybe not always. Maybe some cases you'll say that's not a waste. Maybe you'll disagree with Coburn. But I think something I've noticed. For example, there was a story this morning about Vice President Joe Biden, whose family spent 4 nights in August at a lakeside property in the national park. Which national park? It's a 4-bedroom Brinkerhoff Lodge in the Grand Teton National Park. It has been reserved for official purposes since 1992. But what they do is they rent it out to people and charge them a comparable fee to what other lodges cost in that area, which could be anywhere from $1,000, well, $250 a night to $1,000 something a night. But the vice president was able to stay there for free.
Oh.
But he owes them $1,200 which he says he will pay to rent out the Brinkerhoff. He was there for, how long was he there for? But he was there for a long time. I don't know how long. But my point is, and I didn't really give myself the details on that one, only because I wanted to use it as an example of something. In other words, he stayed there for a prolonged period of time. He's going to end up paying a $1,200 fee for something that the normal person would have paid anywhere between, I don't know, $2,000 and $20,000 maybe for. I may have those numbers skewed. My reason for bringing that up, which is not in the waste book information, is this. That if you are a Republican and you hate the Democrats, then you're going to find every Democrat that's taking advantage of a cheap hotel, a taxpayer or whatever. You're going to find a reason to be, against a vacation. You're going to find a reason to be against the golf game, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And if there's a Republican in office and you're a Democrat, you're going to do the exact same thing.
Right.
We have a real weird thing going on. There was a story yesterday about this young Republican club somewhere here in Florida, I think, and that their early voting site, they had a dartboard, and they had 3 dartboards. They had President Obama was the face on one of them, and they had 2 other people on there that they didn't like. They were all 3 Democrats, and they were giving away hot dogs to people who hit the dart into the face of the person that they didn't like.
Oh.
So people coming to vote, both Democrats, Republicans, and independents, are asked, hey, would you like to throw a dart and get a free hot dog? Well, if you're a Democrat, you're going to be offended by this.
Yeah.
It's childish. Whether you like the 3 people, or if you don't like the 3 people in those pictures, that's one thing. Or if you don't like their policies, or whatever, however you want to view this, still, we do play political games in this country, and we do this. Sometimes I'm actually happy we do this because it means we have freedom of speech. And while we go overboard sometimes, I think you're hearing somebody pounding on their desk as they're doing a radio show who's so sure that he's right, who's so sure that his party is right, is very skewed and very cool at the same time because it means we're America. And we can do that kind of thing. And if you want to get a radio show and pound your fist. Now, here, the way you and I do this, and this has been our unwritten mission statement, I guess, forever, is to really try to be respectful of everybody except for a bug.
I know. We have.
I hate when those things get in my coffee. I was a fruit fly.
I know. They're awful.
All right, but anyway, we have really tried. I remember when we first started doing this particular show 12 years ago, Mike Sizemore was the head of the Democratic Party. Yes. He didn't know me at all. He knew you.
Yeah.
But you hadn't come on board yet at that time.
Right.
You and I had done radio shows before that, but at this particular moment, I was the only one here. And Mike Sizemore didn't know me, and he figured, he's going to be this typical guy, hates Democrats, and is going to, give me a hard time. He came in very, very cautious. I wasn't that way at all.
No.
I've never been that way with anybody. I always try to be respectful. If I disagree, I say so, but that doesn't mean I don't respect anybody. I do disrespect some people.
Yeah.
But not because of their opinions. In fact, I often think, well, maybe I'm the one who's wrong, and sometimes to my, what's the word I would say there? Chagrin. Is that a good word? Chagrin?
Yeah.
Funny word, chagrin.
It is.
All right, let's talk about some of the things in the waste book.
Okay.
The website for the waste book is...
Oh, that's the long one.
Hold on, I'm not going to read the whole thing.
Okay.
But maybe you'll be able to find it if I give you the first part of it.
Okay.
If not, Robin is going to put the whole thing on Facebook. The waste book will be on Facebook. And you can download the PDF, in other words, the book, but you don't have to print it up and waste your paper. You can look at it online. And Robin will put it on the WOCA Facebook page. But the beginning of it is Coburn, COBURN.senate.gov, and then there's a bunch of slashes and numbers. Okay. So I don't know if you can find it with just that. I don't know if they put it on their homepage, or if you'll need all those other information. But Robin will put that on Facebook so to make it easy. Okay.
Okay.
All right. But in the list, are you ready for this? Paid vacations for bureaucrats gone wild is the first, I guess you call it a chapter here. $19 million charging booze and personal trips on the office credit card,
Of course.
passing out on the job after a late night party.
The weather is brought to you by
we'll be right back.
MySea.com. Safe boating is no accident. After some morning fog patches, partly sunny today and warm this afternoon, high 83 to 87. Mainly clear tonight, low 61 inland, 67 on the coast. There'll be some fog around late tonight and tomorrow morning. Otherwise, sunshine mixing with clouds tomorrow and warm. A shower or thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon, the high 82 to 86. On Friday, partly sunny and cooler, high 76 to 80. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Avoid fried food during the flu season. It's loaded with unhealthy saturated fats which suppress our resistance to infectious disease. So instead of fried, go for food that's steamed or grilled. We should all get in the habit of carrying a package of alcohol wipes when we travel and cleaning every surface near our seat before we start touching anything. Next time you need to calm your frazzled nerves or beat back a case of the blues, try this. Eat some cantaloupe.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
News Talk 1370. WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
All right, 14 minutes now before 8 o'clock. Thank you for listening. Sorry I talked over the beginning of the weather there. And anyway, so I was, before the break, I was beginning to tell you some of the things in Tom Colburn's report, which we will put online. It's called Wastebook 2014. It came out last week, and it's available for free. You don't have to pay for it. Well, maybe you did pay for it. Maybe that's the better way to say this. It's a taxpayer thing. He's a senator anyway.
Of course.
Paid vacations for bureaucrats gone wild. $19 million is the price tag he figured out for that. Making unwanted sexual advances was part of the message here. Wasting most of the workday surfing for smut on office computers is something else he uncovered. Using an office laptop to send explicit images is another one. Yep. You will read all of that when you go to that report, but I wanted to tell you the dollar amounts because there's really no dollar amount associated with that. $387,000 of taxpayer money spent on researching Swedish massages for rabbits. For rabbits. The real lucky rabbit's foot may be attached to one of the bunnies receiving Swedish massages courtesy of taxpayers. A group of rabbits received daily rubdowns from a mechanical device that simulates the long flowing strokes used in Swedish massage.
Okay.
The National Center for Complementary and Alternate Medicine of the National Institute of Health provided $387,000 for the 2-year project, which ended in April of 2014. I believe I heard Glenn Beck talking about this one, and he made a really good point if it was he who I heard. Mm-hmm. If you're going to spend $387,000 trying to figure out if Swedish massage will actually benefit humans, why can't you find humans? Why do you have to have rabbits?
Exactly. I mean, you're not injecting, you're not ingesting.
You can
you're not doing
ask
anything.
a human.
Yeah.
How do you feel? You can't ask a rabbit how it feels.
No, but we know those rabbits reproduce a lot, so there you go.
So that was another one. All right, good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Larry. I'm glad you brought up this waste book.
Have you seen it?
I think I saw a big segment on it on television.
Okay.
I think we need to differentiate, though, between people looking at porn on their laptops and misusing their credit cards, because that's something that can happen in any organization. But what we really need to focus on is what you're talking about now, where the government spends all this money on these frivolous projects, because people at any job are going to goof off or do things they're not supposed to do. That's not within Congress's control. But this foolish spending, and I should point out the National Institute of Health, they're the ones that are crying about they didn't have enough money for Ebola research, but they've got money for rabbit research. And then one final point I want to make is, this money just isn't thrown up in the air, to be blown by the winds to whoever can get you. This money is targeted usually to universities, and other organizations. And guess who one of the biggest supporters of Democrat Party policies are? Is the colleges and universities, because that's where the money comes from. And it's a vote buying thing, because if, let's say you work for a company or an organization or a university that's getting $1 billion from the federal government. If some Republican comes to visit your campus and says, I want to get elected and cut government spending, are you going to vote for that person and risk your $1 billion grant being cut? I don't think so.
That's right.
You're going to vote for that nice Democrat that's going to keep the gravy train rolling.
That's right.
Thank you, Larry.
Absolutely. No, and you made my very point right there. We don't disagree at all on this one. And as far as bringing up the people wasting time on their computers, etc., I only brought that up because that was part of the first chapter when you read the whole report. And Robin, we'll post the address to the whole report if you want to look at it. And it's kind of fun to read, actually. All right, so the Swedish massage for rabbits. Listen to this. $90 million to promote U.S. culture around the globe with, are you ready for this? Nose flutists. Nose flutists. People who play the flute with their nose.
Oh, my God. That is so disgusting.
The heck is that about?
Oh, that is disgusting. What is wrong with the government?
The Army created a free first-person shooter the intelligence community worries could train terrorists. War is not a game unless you're playing America's Army, a free online first-person shooter game developed, produced, and promoted by the U.S. Army. Oh, I get it. This is $414,000 to develop this video game. The Army first released the video game in 2002 and has updated it every year as a part of its enlistment efforts. It features ultra realism in weaponry, tactics, and leadership. And I won't read the whole thing to you because you can read it for yourself, but I'll tell you what it says later on. It says that terrorists use this video game to learn how to fight us.
Of course, it makes
Anyway,
sense.
$414,000. We can argue. This, I told you in advance, you might not agree with the senator that every one of these things is a waste of money. You might say that was a good expenditure.
No. It's
$856,000 to study mountain lions on treadmills.
Man.
Mountain lions walking in a cage on a rubber treadmill. The mountain lions were wearing state-of-the-art collars called Species Movement Acceleration and Radio Tracking, which cleverly makes an acronym SMART. It's a smart wildlife collar. It was designed by a graduate student, there's Pete's point, for the studies in the wild. The high-tech collar includes a GPS unit, accelerometers, and a magnetometer to provide detailed data on where an animal is and what it is doing.
Okay. On treadmill.
We do want to be God. You know how they say God knows every hair on your head? Well, God knows what every animal is doing.
Yeah.
And we want to know, too. I want to know what that giraffe is doing right now.
Exactly.
What is that giraffe up to? We need the whole organization figuring this out. I don't have the details on this one, but in this report, and you will find the details in the report, $10,000, which doesn't seem like much, but still, to watch grass grow. $10,000 to watch grass grow.
I would love that job. Why didn't I think of that? We can watch this grass grow every day. We could be on the air and make $10,000 by watching the grass.
You just get a government grant to do it.
That's right. It's right there. You got to sign up for that.
$124.3 million of other people's money to pay a contractor to flush security clearance investigations like a dead goldfish. What? This is what Senator Coburn wrote in his report. What do a goldfish, a leprechaun, and Dick Clark have in common? All were invoked as part of one company's attempt to scam millions of federal dollars, all the while compromising our national security. Over the past year, the government paid $124.3 million to U.S. Investigation Services, which is a company,
Yeah.
And the federal contractor hired to conduct security clearance background checks despite the company's history of security failures and allegations of fraud.
Oh, of course.
So in
They
other
have
words, we
somebody.
spent money on a company that we already knew was no good.
Yeah, well, there's somebody in their back pocket that they hired that company. It's somebody's brother.
$331,000. The feeling of anger caused by hunger is so well known that pop culture has given the feelings its own name, hanger. I'm so hungry, I'm angry. I'm so hungry, I'm angry. I'm experiencing hanger.